Hello and welcome to a new video. It is that time of the month again where it is my TBR video. So it is, of course, May the TBR be with you. I am also a co-host for the Vampire Diaries Readathon, which is created by Chloe from Chloe Reads Books. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my roles as usual. And then afterwards, I will go through the books that I'm reading for the Readathon. So let's just go straight into finding out which planets I need to get to and my first roles. Okay, so we have Chopper on Mandalore, which is where we finished last month. So let's see what 5 planets we're getting to this month. That's a 0, that does not count. 7, which is Naboo. Planet number 2, that's Naboo, I need to roll again. That is a 1, so that's Exegol. Planet 3, that's a 6, so that is Mustafar. Planet 4 is 7, that's Naboo. And the final planet is 5, which is Scarif. Okay, so we need to get from Mandalore to Naboo. So I'm using these dice this month. We're sticking with the D6s. We'll see if we get some lightsabers this month. Although this probably is the worst month to get lightsabers because I am doing a readathon. So it takes away some choices. We'll see how it goes. Roll number 1, a 1 and a 5. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Roll number 2, so 1 and a 4. 1 2 3 4 5. Roll number 3, so 5 and a 3. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Come on. Roll number 4 is a 5 and a 4. So 1. Let's see what we're going to pull from Naboo. Anakin, read a romance. Yes. So it took a few rolls doing that. But I got to Naboo and I pulled the Anakin card, which is to read a romance. So for this, I am reading Rosaline Parker Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall. I'm really excited for this. I have not read anything by Alexis Hall, and I know most people start off with like boyfriend material, which I do have, but I want to read this one. This is the one I'm reading. And then we still have 8 spaces, so we're going to need to start making our way to Exegol. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Roll number 5 is a 1 and a 5. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Roll number 6 is a double 6. Yes, we move through hyperspace. And for Exegol, we have Ray, an underrated book. Okay, so we ended up actually starting our journey to Exegol and then rolling a double 6, which means I went all the way through hyperspace to Exegol. And I pulled the Ray card, an underrated book. So for this one, I'm actually reading This Coven Won't Break by Isabel Sterling. So for this is the second book. I don't hear anybody talking about the first book, These Witches Don't Burn. And I really enjoyed this. I'm just really bad at continuing series, as we know. So I'm definitely going to say this is an underrated one, which means this is also underrated. So yeah. Okay, roll number 7. We've got to get all the way back down to Mustafar. A 5 and a 3. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Roll number 8 is a 4 and a 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Roll number 9. That's a 5 and a 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. And then the final roll is roll 10. We're at most going to get 3 planets this, so we're getting some lightsabers. A 5 and a 3. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So Mustafar is Obi-Wan, a book with mental health representation. And then we used up the last of the rolls to get to the 3rd planet, which was Mustafar, and I pulled the Obi-Wan card, which is to read a book with mental health representation. So for this, I'm reading Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. Selena has to deal with a lot of like PTSD in this, and yeah, her mental health isn't at its greatest, and I really connect with her in this one. So yeah, Crown of Midnight. And we still have one move, so it's not going to get us to Naboo, but one. So this means we get to pick from the lightsabers. We have to pick 2 this month. So let's see what numbers we get. I have my list of books. So we have, let's go for a green. Number 22. And the second one, let's go for a blue one. Number 4. So I did not make it to all 5 planets, which this was the point for me changing from D8s to D6s to hopefully get to my lightsabers, because I'm just not reading them. So I pulled number 22, which is Lycanthropy and Other Chronic Illnesses by Kristen O'Neill. I actually got sent this by the publisher before it came out. This came out in 2021, so I'm finally going to get to it. And then I also pulled number 4, which is Cogheart by Peter Bunzel. This is actually one that I have been considering unhauling. I've got all 4 books in the series and I've been considering unhauling it. So at least now I'm either going to read it and enjoy it and be like, oh, I'm glad I didn't unhaul it, or I'm not going to love it and I'm going to unhaul 4 books. So there is silver linings here. And once I have read them, I will replace the books. I'm going to put these numbers back in. Like back in the little lightsaber jar or mug, and if at the end of the month I have read them, I will then, on my little notes app, I will replace them on there in case I pull those numbers again. So that is my TBR game. As much as like I did want to get lightsabers, I'm a little bit gutted it was these books, because there are some books on there that I really want to get to. And these 2 are not it. But this is the point of the lightsaber mug, is to get to books that I wouldn't normally just pick. So this is a good thing, and I'm glad. So yeah. My TBR game books are these 5, which is a good amount of books. I'm happy with this. Okay, now for the readathon books. So obviously I'm Team Damon. And there are 10 prompts. You can't double up or anything. So the books I am reading, I've managed to do some crossovers, but I am going to have a fairly big TBR this month. So the first prompt is Clock Tower. Read a book with a supernatural element. For this, I'm going to be reading Lycanthropy and Other Chronic Illnesses. Werewolves. Supernatural. It works. The next prompt is Mystic Grill. Read a book featuring a friendship. I'm going to be reading Cogheart. This literally says, with her friends, Robert and Malkin. So it's going to follow 3 friends. So Cogheart. Also, I feel like if these 2 are on the Readathon TBR, where I have to earn points for my team, I'm more likely to prioritise them in my TBR, because otherwise I just won't get to them. Next up, we have Mystic Falls High School. Read a book with a school setting. I'm going to be reading With the Fire on High by Elizabeth. Is it Acevedo or Acevedo? I can never remember. But I'm really excited for this. I'm actually going to be borrowing Ash's copy of this because I'm seeing her next weekend, which is still August. So she's going to be bringing her copy because I don't have a physical copy of it. But yeah, I read Clap When You Land a few years back and absolutely adored it. So I'm really excited to read this one. And she goes to like culinary arts school, so school setting. Next, we have Salvatore Boarding House. Read a book with a historical element. This is one I've been wanting to get to for a while. So I read the first book in like 2020. This is the second book and it came out in 2020. And I have the third book, which I can't read yet. It is The Damned by Renee Addy. I loved The Beautiful. I don't know why it's taken me so long to read it, but I was like, do you know what? Screw this. I'm reading it. It's happening. So yeah. Next, we have Lockwood Mansion. Read a popular book. This is perfect because Cassandra Clare books are so popular. And Chain of Thorns is the book for September on By the Angel Along. It's the final book on By the Angel Along. Almost 2 years of By the Angel Along. And this is the final book. I'm really excited to see everyone's thoughts on this book. Even though we haven't even read Chain of Iron yet. But yeah. Next we have Wickery Bridge, read a thriller. Now I have not been in the mood for thrillers, but I was like, let's see if any of the thrillers I do have on my shelves unread, I can get the audiobook from my library. And this is also continuing a series, so I'm taking it as a double win. One of Us is Next by Karen M. McManus. I loved One of Us is Lying when I read it back in the day, and I loved Two Can Keep a Secret, which is like a separate book. And then I didn't read any more Karen McManus, and I have all of them. So, continuing a series, and it's a thriller. Next we have Mystic Falls Cemetery, read a book with a dark cover. Now this book does have a dark cover, but it has light on it as well. So it's True Life by J. Christoph. It's mostly dark blue. So I'm counting that. This is also going to finish the series. Like, go me. Also, I'm loving this series so much. So I'm really glad that I have stuck to reading the series, even though I didn't end up taking part in Christophalong, which I'm still really sad about. But I feel like it was the best thing for me, which I keep repeating, but I just need to keep reminding myself. Next we have Gilbert House, read a romance, and this worked perfectly with my TBR game because Rosaline Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall is a romance, and I'm using it for my TBR game prompt, read a romance. So this was perfect. Then we have Forbes House, read a book with a party in it. I am choosing Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas because I am 99% sure there is some sort of like banquet in this, which is essentially like a medieval style party. So I'm counting it. And then the final prompt is Mystic Falls, read a vampire book. And for this, I'm going to be reading the third book in the Larton Crepsley series by Darren Shan, which is Palace of the Damned. I'm really enjoying this so far, so I'm really glad I'm getting to the third book. And yeah, perfect, because it's vampires. So that isn't actually all of my TBR. That is my Readathon TBR and my TBR game TBR. I do have 2 more books, because 2 of these are actually part of it. I am going to be doing the next in my series of the So and So Made Me Do It. And for September, that person is Chloe from Persistent Bookworm. So 2 of the books you've seen in this TBR are 2 of the books I'm reading for it. But there is also 2 other books as well, which I'm really excited about, but I won't be telling you about them until I get to that vlog, which won't be in the first week because I'm not going to be reading much in the first week, which is great. I choose the month where I'm only really going to have 1 less week of reading because I am visiting friends in Finland to have a big TBR, which is just great, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I'm very excited because I've printed out the little graphic that Chloe created for the Readathon, where you can have each of the prompts and put your book on there. I saved the image. I got the pictures of all the book covers for the books I'm reading, and I printed it out to stick in my planner. And I'm really excited. It's so cute. I love it. So yeah, that is my TBR for the month of September. I'm really excited. I hope I can get through all these. Because I really want to read them. So fingers crossed for me. Also, I put Chopper on display because Ahsoka TV show actually premieres the day this video goes live. So I couldn't not have Chop in shot. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you are taking part in the Vampire Diaries Readathon. And if you are, what team are you? I hope it's Team Damon. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.